Hi, I'm Marla. I don't consider myself naive. Careless maybe, but not naive. I think things through. I watch people closely. I listen more than I speak. I've been hurt before, and I like to believe that kind of pain sharpens your instincts. It should, right? And yet, here I am, watching everything fall apart. It begins quietly, as most disasters do, with a message. A check-in from someone I haven't spoken to in a while, someone I once considered a close friend. His name isn't important anymore. What matters is the way he presents himself. Not desperate, not dramatic, just unraveling. Slowly, subtly. He tells me he's going through something financially, emotionally, and mentally. His life is slipping. He needs support. He doesn't ask directly. That's what makes it worse. He just paints the picture and lets it sit there. I fill in the rest. I want to help. I've always wanted to help people. Maybe it's a flaw. Maybe it's some leftover instinct from a time when I thought love meant fixing others. I don't know, but I act, without asking too many questions. I sell a portion of my crypto, just over $1,000, and send it to him. He tells me his father is out of the country. He says he'll cover everything when he returns. He says this like it's fact, like it's guaranteed. I don't question it. I should. Weeks pass, then months. I move through life with this small knot inside me. I try to ignore it. I tell myself, I've done the right thing, that good people don't keep score, that he's probably too overwhelmed to reach out. But somewhere beneath all of that, doubt grows. It's almost a year later when I finally say something. I bring it up gently. I say I'd like to have the money back, that I've waited patiently and quietly, and now it's time. I expect understanding. At the very least, acknowledgement. Instead, I get silence. Then excuses. Then deflection. He tells me things are still hard. He tells me I don't understand what he's going through. And then, when he realizes that won't work, he changes the game. He brings up my ex. At first, it's vague. A mention here, a suggestion there. He says he's spoken to him, that things have been said, that there are details my ex might want to know, things I've done or not done, or maybe just rumors he can sell as truth. I feel my stomach drop. It's been 2 years since we've spoken. My ex and we didn't end well. There were wounds neither of us knew how to clean. Reaching out now feels dangerous, but I do it anyway. I ask if he's heard anything, if there's been contact. He says no, nothing. Silence. That's when I understand. There's no conversation, no secret reveal, no scandal, just manipulation. He wants to control the narrative, make me panic, force me into weakness. And it works. I fall for it. I expose myself. I look desperate. And now, whatever dignity I still have left dissolves. I wish I could say that's where it ends. But it doesn't. I try to find support. I reach out to his family. I think maybe they'll understand. Maybe they'll talk to him. Maybe they'll help me set things right. But instead of empathy, I'm met with disgust. His mother mocks me, says things no mother should say. His siblings throw accusations at me, vile, grotesque things that don't even make sense. They turn me into something I'm not. A predator, a manipulator, a liar. We're the same age. I was just trying to help. But now I'm the villain in their story. I hang up. I delete numbers. I block them all. I sit alone in my room and try to understand how trying to be kind leads to this kind of ruin, and still he never pays me back. Later, I learn he's not struggling. He's not desperate. He's partying. He's traveling. He's living well. The money I gave him wasn't used to survive. It was used to celebrate. I want to forget. I try to move on, but the story isn't over yet, because now my ex is involved. Now, things begin to spiral. Something inside me comes undone, not all at once, not in a loud, dramatic way. It unravels slowly, like the hem of a dress catching on a nail, pulling thread after thread until the whole thing falls apart in silence. That's what this feels like. Quiet destruction, one pulled thread at a time. Since that message to my ex, I can't sleep properly. I stare at the ceiling for hours, tracing cracks I didn't know existed. I overthink every word I write, every sentence I sent. My mind replays the timing, the tone, and the choice of punctuation. I feel exposed, stupid, ashamed. My ex doesn't respond again. That silence screams louder than any reply ever could. I don't know what he thinks of me now. I don't know if he's confused or angry or just quietly laughing at how desperate I look. And the worst part is, I don't even blame him. I hate what this does to me. How I let one lie shake the fragile scaffolding of my entire self-worth. I want to pretend I'm unaffected, that I'm stronger than this. But every time I see his name in my inbox, sitting unopened, something in me wilts. Then the whispers begin, not real ones, not spoken aloud, but I feel them, the kind that live in the space between notifications. I notice people pulling away. Friends who once messaged me daily now go quiet. I sense judgment in silence, in changed tones, in unanswered questions I never even ask. I wonder if he's telling people things. I wonder what he says behind my back. He knows too much. That's the problem. He remembers things I've told him in confidence, fragments of vulnerability that now hang over me like broken glass. I picture him twisting them, shaping them into weapons. I can't prove it, but I feel it happening. That fear grows louder when a fake profile starts watching my stories. No name, no followers, but familiar timing, like someone waiting for a reaction. Like someone holding a match over a pile of dry leaves. I delete half my posts, I shut down comments, I stop sharing photos with my face in them. I become a ghost in my own life. It doesn't help. One afternoon, I open my inbox, and there it is, a screenshot. Blurry, cropped, old, but it's me. It's private, not something anyone should have. My hands go cold, my lungs tighten. I can't tell if it's real or edited. I don't know if it's been shared or just shown to me as a warning. But the message is clear. He has things, and he's willing to use them. I close the app. I curl up on the floor. I shake. I stay there for hours, too afraid to move, too numb to cry. I want to disappear. I want to rewind time. I want to scream, but I do nothing. The next day, I receive another message. This time from a different account, anonymous, faceless, but the voice behind it feels familiar. It says my ex has been contacted again. It says things are being clarified, that there are consequences for what I've done. I stare at the screen. I reread every word. My body stops working properly. My heart stumbles. My throat closes. This is no longer about money. This is a game of humiliation. He's trying to ruin me, piece by piece. I know I should report him. I know I should go to someone, authorities, friends, anyone. But I don't, because deep down, I still feel like I caused this. Like my silence, my trust, and my instinct to help somehow they justify the punishment I'm receiving. I return to old journals, pages filled with who I used to be. I barely recognize her now. That girl believed in good intentions. She saw pain and thought it meant someone needed love. She thought being needed was the same as being valued. Now, I can't even look at my own reflection without flinching. Every notification feels like a threat. Every message could be the next nail in the coffin of my reputation. I delete apps. I switch devices. I go offline. But even when I'm unplugged, I don't feel safe. Because this isn't about platforms or passwords, it's about being hunted in plain sight, and he's not done yet. I stop responding. I stop reacting. I go silent not because I'm calm, but because I'm tired. There is something about being chased that turns into a kind of numbness when it doesn't stop. I no longer ask why this is happening. I just wake up and wait for the next blow, but inside, something else stirs. It's quiet at first, like a ripple under still water, a thought I try to bury but can't. It keeps rising. I think it's anger, not loud, not wild, just cold and sharp like a thin blade I forget I'm holding. I start to think about him not with pity or confusion, but with disgust. He plays a game I never agreed to join. He takes and twists and toys with people like it's nothing. And the worst part, he gets away with it. Every time. No one stops him. No one even tries. I want to scream. I want someone to tell me I'm not crazy. That what's happening to me is real. That I didn't ask for this. That trying to help someone isn't an invitation to be broken, but no one does. Instead, I carry it alone. My days feel fragmented now. I walk through familiar spaces like I don't belong in them anymore. Classrooms, cafes, grocery stores. Everything feels like a stage I'm no longer performing on. I see people laughing, scrolling, chatting, and I feel like a ghost drifting through someone else's life. Then it escalates. I get a file.no sender. No subject, just a cloud link. I shouldn't click it. Every instinct in my body tells me not to, but I do. Inside, screenshots, old conversations with my ex, cropped photos, a few of me, a few of him, all out of context, all carefully arranged. It's a narrative one I don't recognize, but one that feels intentional. He's building something, or maybe he already has. My hands tremble, but not from fear this time, from rage. This isn't just about money anymore. This is character, assassination, reputation warfare, psychological erosion. He's not bluffing anymore, he's staging. I don't know if my ex has seen this. I don't know if he believes it, but I feel the weight of it all the same. I imagine his face, the doubt, the disappointment, the quiet judgment that always cuts deeper than any insult. And then I wonder, why hasn't he contacted me? I begin to spiral. Again, questions without answers, scenarios that make me sick. My mind starts rewriting history, twisting every memory into a warning sign I should have seen. I want to reach out, to explain, to clear the fog, but I don't, because I'm afraid I'm already guilty in his eyes. Not because I did anything wrong, but because silence has power. And right now, it's not working in my favor. I think about telling someone, anyone, but who? No one knows the whole story. Not even I do. Every part of this feels like a trap. If I speak, I risk sounding unhinged. If I stay silent, I become whatever version of me he's writing. So I wait, and in the waiting, I change. I stop dressing the same. I stop wearing makeup. I tie my hair back tighter than before. I move faster in public spaces. I look over my shoulder, not because I expect to see him, but because I never really know who's watching anymore. But I'm not just afraid. I'm calculating. He wants me to break. He wants me to panic. He wants me to beg. I do none of those things. I start documenting. Quietly, carefully. I save screenshots, dates, IPs, names. I start creating a file of my own. Not because I think the police will help, but because I need proof. For myself. For whatever comes next. I don't trust easily now. Every message feels like a test. Every account could be him. Every name could be fake. But still, I observe. I learn. I adapt. And beneath all of it, I hold on to one truth. I'm not the one who should be ashamed. He is. My instincts sharpen like knives. I feel it in the quiet, a shift in the pattern, a disturbance in the rhythm of his game. He's planning something new, not just messages or shadows this time. Something real, something public. It starts with a sudden email.no subject. Nobody, just an attachment. I don't open it at first. I stare at it for nearly an hour, frozen in my chair. My mind runs wild with what it could be: photos, documents, maybe recordings. Maybe he's made something up. Maybe he's pieced together my past and twisted it just enough to make the lie believable. When I finally open it, it's worse than I imagined. It's a draft, a letter, addressed to my ex, full of accusations, half-truths, and timelines pulled from moments I barely remember. It's written in a formal tone, calm, cold, controlled. It reads like a victim statement, but I'm not the one giving it. I'm the one it's about. At the bottom, he's signed my name. I stare at the fake letter, every line burning into my memory. He's trying to send it. Or maybe he already has. Or maybe he's just showing me what he can do. Either way, I understand the message. He's not bluffing anymore. The walls around me feel tighter now. I no longer trust anything that comes through a screen. I stop checking messages. I uninstall everything that connects me to people I don't absolutely know. I isolate further, but not from fear this time, from strategy. I begin backing up my files. I catalog everything: messages, deleted profiles, usernames, dates, and locations. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but I need to feel like I'm not powerless, that there's a version of this story where I don't just disappear. Beneath the lies, he underestimates me. That's his mistake. He thinks I'm weak because I was kind. He thinks I'll stay quiet because I'm scared. But I've learned something important. Silence doesn't protect me. It only gives him space to rewrite the truth. Still, I'm cautious. I don't retaliate. Not yet. Instead, I research. I look into the sites he's used. I trace the links. I read forums, watch videos, and join private groups under fake names. I learn how these schemes work, how people like him set traps for others like me. I begin to see patterns I missed before. His tactics aren't unique. His cruelty isn't new. He's just another parasite feeding off empathy. That thought gives me strength. The idea that I'm not alone in this, not the only one who's been fooled, bled, and discarded. There's a cold kind of comfort in that. But then, he takes it further. I get a message from a burner account. This one isn't vague. It's direct, aggressive. It says my ex knows everything. It says I'll be exposed soon. That he's talking. That everyone will know what kind of person I am. The wording is sharp, too confident, which means one of two things. Either he's bluffing again, or my ex has responded, and suddenly, the silence from my past feels louder than anything else. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know if he believes the things being said. I don't know if he's defending me or watching in silence while I drown. I feel that old panic creep back in, but this time, I fight it, because this isn't about begging anymore. This isn't about proving my innocence to someone who walked away long ago. This is about not letting someone else hijack my story, my identity, my name. I don't respond to the burner account. I don't reach out to my ex. I let the threat hang in the air like smoke, and instead, I keep moving. I start preparing for exposure, not to stop it, but to survive it. I write my own version of the truth, a full record, every detail. I don't plan to share it. I just need it to exist somewhere. So if everything crumbles, at least one version of reality still lives. One version that's mine. One version where kindness isn't a flaw. One version where I don't have to apologize for being targeted. I'm still afraid, but I'm not helpless anymore, and he knows it. I never expect a message from him, my ex. Not after all this time. Not after everything that's happened. The silence between us has been thick enough to suffocate memories. But there it is, sudden and sharp, a light cutting through the darkness. He sends something small, a link, a warning, a clue, something that shakes the foundation of everything I thought I knew. It's proof, evidence, a pattern. He tells me not in words, but in fragments, that I'm not the first. That the person who's been tearing my life apart has done this before. To others, to people who never stood a chance, I dive into the past, tracing shadows like a detective, piecing together a crime. Old forum posts, archived profiles, vanished social media accounts. The stories echo mine: kindness exploited, trust betrayed, lives dismantled. It's terrifying, and yet it's also oddly empowering, because I realize this isn't just personal. It's systematic, calculated, a cycle I'm now determined to break. I start reaching out cautiously, not to him, but to those who survived, to strangers who once were victims. We share scars, stories, and strategies. The collective strength grows quietly, like roots beneath cracked earth. At the same time, my ex breaks his silence further. His tone is neutral, almost distant, but there's a thread of concern woven through. He confirms he's been contacted not by me, but by the other side. He's confused and cautious, but he doesn't deny seeing the messages. The fabrications.it hurts to hear that. But more than that, it fuels a flicker of hope. Maybe this isn't just me. Maybe I'm not alone. I keep preparing. My files grow thicker. My resolve sharpens. I know the battle ahead is long and messy, that some days will be darker than others. But I'm no longer just waiting for the storm to pass. I'm learning to dance in the rain. I look in the mirror and see a different reflection. Not broken, not defeated, scarred, yes, but stronger. He might have started this game, but I'm ready to finish it. I'm tired of feeling powerless, of waking up every day with a pit in my stomach, wondering what new nightmare awaits. The weight of silence crushes me, but it also teaches me something vital. Waiting won't save me. Only action will. I start. Small, almost imperceptibly. A screenshot here, a saved message there. I trace every digital footprint he leaves, every fake account he uses to shadow me. I document everything carefully. It's a painstaking process, but it feels like rebuilding a fractured mirror, each shard a piece of the truth. At the same time, I reach out to the people I've found, those who survived similar betrayals. We exchange stories, strategies, and warnings. There's a strange comfort in this shared pain, a quiet strength that grows from knowing I'm not alone. The names and faces are different, but the wounds feel familiar. My ex breaks his silence more clearly. His messages are cautious and distant but sincere. He admits to being contacted by the same faceless threats, though he refuses to get involved. I don't blame him. He's a part of my past, tangled in scars neither of us wants to reopen. But his acknowledgement means something. It's proof I'm not imagining this, that the darkness spreading around me is real. Meanwhile, the person trying to break me slips. A careless error in an encrypted message, a timestamp revealing a pattern, a username linked to a forgotten profile. It's small, almost insignificant, but to me, it's a crack in the fortress of lies he's built. I seize it without hesitation. Piece by piece, I gather evidence. Screenshots of threats, records of fake profiles, archived conversations. I create a digital dossier that could stand up to scrutiny, not out of spite, but necessity. This is my story, and I refuse to let him write it for me. Every day is exhausting. I lose hours to this invisible war, my mind spinning between fear and resolve. But with every new detail I uncover, the knot in my chest loosens. I'm no longer just surviving. I'm fighting back. The turning point comes not with a single moment, but a slow dawn breaking through endless nights. I realize I'm no longer running. I'm standing my ground. I don't know what comes next. I don't know if justice will find me or if the scars will ever fully fade. But I do know one thing clearly now. I'm not just a victim in this story. I'm a force, and that changes everything. The days blur into one another, each heavier than the last. The weight on my chest grows unbearable, an invisible hand tightening its grip, squeezing every ounce of breath from my lungs. It's no longer just the distant threat of him lurking behind screens. It's the constant reminder that my life, my very existence, is caught in this twisted game he has escalated. The faceless harassment turns into something more personal, more insidious. Messages arrive at all hours, each carefully crafted to unsettle me. Threats veiled beneath polite words, promises coded in cruelty. He knows my routines, my habits, and even the places I find solace. He manipulates the small details, weaving them into his web, and I'm trapped within it. I start to notice changes in the people around me. Friends I once laughed with now avoid my gaze. Conversations trail off when I enter the room. Invitations become scarce. The silence from those I trusted cuts deeper than any insult hurled in my direction. Loneliness creeps in like a cold fog, wrapping itself around my bones, but inside, the battle rages. Doubt gnaws at me relentlessly. Am I broken? Am I to blame? Was I foolish to trust? These questions haunt me like ghosts, yet alongside the fear, a flicker of defiance burns. I refuse to let this shadow consume me. Memories resurface, faces from the past, moments of strength and vulnerability. I recall who I was before the storm, before the betrayal. Those fragments become anchors in the swirling chaos. I cling to them desperately. This is the crossroads. I stand at the edge of surrender and fight. The path behind me is littered with pain and silence. The path ahead is uncertain, shrouded in darkness, but it's the only way forward. I choose to fight. I feel the walls closing in tighter every moment. The city around me blurs into a chaotic mix of noise and shadows, mirroring the storm inside my mind. Every corner I turn, every face I pass seems to watch me, or so I imagine, as if the world itself conspires against me. Sleep becomes a stranger. Nights stretch endlessly as my thoughts spin out of control. Memories, fears, doubts, and what-ifs collide in a relentless cyclone. The boundaries between past and present and truth and lies start to dissolve. He intensifies his attacks. The threats no longer come only through screens. I find strange letters slipped under my door and receive anonymous phone calls that hang up before I can answer. His shadow feels omnipresent, an unseen predator stalking my every move. At the same time, whispers begin to seep into my life from unexpected places. People I barely know start avoiding me, rumors trickle through social circles like poison, and small fractures appear in relationships I once thought unbreakable. Despite it all, I refuse to crumble. I immerse myself in my evidence, building a fortress of facts to shield myself. Screenshots, files, timelines, a digital armor forged from the chaos around me. It's exhausting, and sometimes I wonder if it's enough. But it's all I have. In the quiet moments, I confront the hardest battle, the one within, the self-doubt that tries to erode my spirit, the voice that whispers, maybe I'm not strong enough, maybe I'm meant to be broken. But with every doubt, I push back harder. I remind myself of the girl I used to be and the woman I am becoming. I recall the warmth of genuine friendship, the strength of resilience, and the power of truth. I reach out to those who still stand beside me, even if only a few. Their support becomes a lifeline, a beacon in the engulfing darkness. As the days blur, a new realization dawns. This fight is no longer just about reclaiming what was taken from me. It's about surviving, about standing tall despite the storm. I'm at my breaking point, but I'm still standing, and maybe that's enough to change everything. Every scar, every tear, every sleepless night has led me here. I gather the remnants of my courage and prepare to reclaim my story. It won't be easy. The battle is far from over, but for the first time, I feel a sliver of control, a fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, I can break free, and I hold on to that hope with everything I have. The storm finally breaks. For months, shadows have chased me, a relentless tide of fear, lies, and manipulation. But now, the fragile threads holding his web together begin to unravel. Armed with every piece of evidence I have painstakingly gathered, I step out of the darkness. The fear still claws at my insides, but it no longer controls me. I reach out to those who can make a difference. Legal advisors, trusted friends, and unexpected allies rise to my side, ready to help dismantle the fortress of deceit he built. The confrontation is not loud or cinematic. It's a quiet, calculated unraveling, the steady exposure of truth against the weight of lies, messages, accounts, threats, all exposed to the light. The faces behind the shadows were revealed. In the aftermath, the silence that follows is profound. But it is not empty. It is filled with a cautious hope, a fragile peace hard won. I look in the mirror, no longer seeing the scared, broken girl from months ago. I see a woman who survived, who fought, who refused to be defined by the darkness cast upon her. The scars remain reminders of the battle, but they no longer dictate my story. I reclaim my life, piece by piece, day by day, and, as the sun rises on a new dawn, I finally breathe freely. Kindness is not weakness, it only becomes a weapon when placed in the wrong hands. And now I ask you, if someone you love asked you for help, would you risk everything to save them, even if it meant losing yourself? Tell me in the comments. Thanks for listening to my story. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more scam stories.